Girl, you was actively getting charged, and you're like, this still my man. This still my man's.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you'll hear more about that too. Anyway, I go into the sheriff's office. I have him on the phone, and they take my ID, and they come back, and they're like, okay, sign here. Here's your court date. I didn't get a warrant. I got a court summons. And they all got warrants with like $50,000 in bond attached to it. I didn't get arrested. And I am thanking my lucky stars that didn't happen.
Yeah, for real.
So I get my paperwork. I go to my house and I'm like, well, I can't have this paperwork in my house or in my car. My fiance will find it. So I go to my neighbor and I'm like, hey, can I hide this paperwork in your house? And she was like, yeah, absolutely.
Here we go!
She was like, yeah, absolutely.
Here we go!
Sorry. It's so loud when it's so, I'm sorry.
Good.
Thank
You're
y'all.
good.
Loves Karma. Thank you for giving those out. So you hid the paper at your neighbor, or is it like a friend or just like a random?
Yeah, she was a friend, like she knew about Hunter and everything. She had talked to Hunter on the phone. Like she knew, but she knew to keep it on the down low.
Mm-hmm.
Because my fiance's kind of crazy. We'll get to that too. So I get there, I hide this paperwork, and there was a letter that he sent to her address to send to me, so she hid that in there too. And went about everything, started getting into the couples counseling. My dad started getting worse, and it was coming up on my first court date in April. And I go to therapy with him, and I'm like, hey, I need to talk to her just for a couple minutes by myself. And he was like, okay, because he knew I was having a hard time with my dad and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I go in there and I'm like, we need to break some bad news to David, or fiance, sorry. And I don't know how to do it. And she was like, okay. So I told her the whole story and then told her about the indictment. And she goes, you have to tell him today. You go to court in like 3 days. I was like, yeah. So we bring him in, and she was like, you know, she has something she wants to tell you. She's kind of afraid to tell you. It's a big deal. And I just told him the whole story and everything and what happened. Like, the day I got terminated, told him what they said to me and everything. And he just sat there and his jaw just dropped. And I was like, yeah. He was like, so I'll be nice and we can do a clean break right now and we'll just go our separate ways. Or if you want to drag this out, this is up to you. He was like, but we're done.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, that's fair, you know, because it was kind of a crappy thing for me. It was a whole crappy thing for me to do.
Yeah.
But, and he gave me a couple days to think, and I was like, no, I want to try to work things out with you. And
I know they are always shocked when it's us, but when it's them, they're like, you can't just forgive me.
I know, right?
I know this is the 100th time, but just forgive me.
Exactly.
And then they're always like, I could never see you the same again. And it's like, bro, I saw you the same after you was with Jessica, Messica, Essica, and all the rest of them. Sorry.
Hey, like I said, I like your commentary. It's fine. So I told him, I was like, I just want to leave everything behind and just try to work on this court case and focus on my dad. And he was like, okay, we'll try to work things out. Unbeknownst to me, he's still talking to females as if he were single, and he actually went and had a date with one and then came home sick as a dog and just laid in bed all day. Anyway. So I found all this out, and he's still acting like we're together. Well, my dad goes into the nursing home, and I get his truck. And it was great because my my car was breaking down. It was in bad shape. And so we started driving my dad's truck around. Come to find out, one day he was supposed to be going to work. He goes and takes my dad's truck to meet this chick. And
Really?
tries to have smacks with her in the truck.
Oh my God.
And this whole time, I done been on the phone with Hunter. We done had a video visit. Like, anytime my fiance left the house, I was always on the phone with Hunter. Yeah. So
She knows where her side piece is at. Oh, hell no. Why is he still there? Here.
yeah, we tried the open relationship thing back in like 2017. It didn't work. Anyway, my dad passes away May 2nd. I just got out of the hospital the night before. I was going into diabetic ketoacidosis, and I had a really bad kidney infection. Because Mama Bear didn't take exactly good care of her diabetes while she was dealing with her dad's sickness. But we're getting back on track now. So, at least there's that. And the day of the funeral home, let me go see him and everything. Everything was alright for a couple days. We would still argue about this chick. And on my mom's birthday, when I lost my mom in 2016, a week after my dad passed away, we got in a huge explosive fight. Like, I was cleaning out my dad's apartment and I had my dad's TV up in our bedroom. He threw a vape through my dad's TV.
Wow.
And cops got called. Cops made him leave. And he broke my dad's truck key in half too that day. So that was fun.
We listen and we don't judge.
Oh no, y'all judge. It's fine. I've made some really bad decisions, but anyway. We go separate ways. He goes with this chick. This whole time I'm still actively in a relationship with Hunter. Because when we first got our lawyers, they told us that there was not a no contact order put in place, so they couldn't stop us from communicating. And he wrote a letter to the judge and my lawyer explaining like our relationship and stuff. And they were like, well, there's no way that we can't prevent you from talking to him. Like, just be honest with us. What do y'all talk about and stuff? And I was like, you can pull the records. Like, it's fine. We don't talk about anything bad for a while. June, I get an eviction notice. July, I move in with a couple of friends of mine in a small trailer with 4 adults and 4 kids. I was sleeping on a top bunk bed while my boys' cribs were right underneath it. It was ghetto. It was ghetto. So I'm with them for about a month, still actively in this relationship with Hunter. Until one day he has a bright decision that he's going to convince me to try to sell my body.
Wait, what? The story is changing.
Yeah, he was trying to convince me to sell my body so that I would have some money and I could put money on his phone and his chirp and his commissary and stuff.
What the hell? Like, just to, like, what did he want you to do?
All of it.
All of it. Just full force.
All of it. Full force.
Not FO, just like all of it.
All of it. Like.
And he just came out and said that.
Yes, he was coming out with prices from like a single date to like just a couple of things or like a weekend and stuff. Like, he was coming up with price points for this.
Did you entertain this at all, or were you just like, you're crazy?
At first, y'all gotta understand, I went through, at this point, with months of this man manipulating me, love bombing me 1 second, and, I hate you, I'm gonna do all this stuff when I get out, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. Dude is mental. Like, mental. Like, he's supposed to be on meds, but he refuses to take them. And I'm like, well, you should give him a try. And doing things on video visits that I would have never normally done. Like, I did shows, if you know what I'm talking about, for him on video visits, and they're recorded. Like, prop my phone up in a corner on the couch with some lingerie on and a rose.
Wait, and you sent that to who?
It was on video visit while he was in the jail.
And y'all can't get in trouble for that?
They're supposed to, but they, for some reason, I mean, it happened multiple times. And no. Yeah, on a jail call, on a video visit, he would put a blanket over his monitor so that no one else in the pod could see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this man had me had me twisted up and doing all sorts of things for him that I wouldn't. Yeah, I was down so bad for this man. Like, I finally found someone who loved me, who wanted me for me, knows that the kids are a package deal, and we was going to live happily ever after. And so I thought about it for a while, but I told him on the phone one day, I was like, I can't do that. Like, I'm not doing it. And he was like, oh, it's okay. I'm sorry. I feel like a piece of crap for even mentioning it.
Ugh, I hate when they do stuff like that. They shot.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah, so August. Baby mama.
Alyssa, that's what I mean is like, that's how you fall into it. It's like you're deprived of all the, when you've been in a relationship for a long time and you haven't felt the attention from someone or the like flirtiness or the butterflies and all that, it's how you get yourself in a little predicament. You just, it's, this person's giving you this special attention, and then the adrenaline of like, oh, it's wrong, but like, it's so wrong, but it's so right. Like, it really is. Like, you're living this weird fantasy almost.
Yeah, absolutely, because he had me convinced he was getting out and we were getting married and he wants to have a baby and all this stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, this sounds like the perfect dream. Like I said last night when we thought he was getting out at his parole hearing, I was set up as his home placement and I was going to try to make my fiance move out somehow. Like, I was down bad for this man. Sorry, I needed a drink.
No, you're fine.
And so the baby mama finds me on Facebook and texts me. And she was like, tell him I unblocked him, and if he wants to call about baby girl, that's fine. And we started talking. This man did so much stuff to this girl that I should have ran away immediately.
Oh, wow.
And that's not my story to tell, so I'm not going to go into details. But
I'm listening to you. I just got to walk away real quick, but I can.
No, you're good. He told me a completely wrong, because narcissists do. Told me something completely wrong about their relationship and everything, and I started asking him about it, and he didn't want to talk about it because it was recorded and everything. So a couple days later, I'm thinking I'm done with him, I had stopped replying to his text messages. I actually uninstalled the Text Now app.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and was scrolling on Facebook, the book dating, and started talking to this guy named Levi. Levi was getting divorced from his wife because she cheated on him, and then when he confronted her about it, she took off to another state with her boyfriend and hadn't seen the 2 kids that they had in 2 months at that point. And said that we could have a sleepover with all the kids, and invited me to his house, sent me money to have gas to go down to his house, sent me money for snacks and stuff because I wasn't working, because I've tried to get interviews and stuff, but once they ran my background, they saw the charges I had pending, and then they were just like, nope, we're going to move on to another candidate.
Yeah, I would imagine that's rough.
It was. And having to depend on the ex-fiance at this point.
So did you get any charges that were like like a corrections officer like doing something wrong, or were they all just like contraband and that?
Well, the 3rd-degree charge was, the stipulation on that in Kentucky law is someone in a position of power going after someone who can't consent.
Okay.
And we'll get to that. Meet this guy named Levi, says he needs help taking care of his kids. He makes $100K a year. He would provide everything for me, take care of me, if I just cleaned up his house and watched his kids. So, spending some days with him and his kids, I decided I was going to do that because things were getting uncomfortable at my friend's house because they wanted to have like a weird 3-way relationship with me. And I wasn't feeling that because I wasn't attracted to them at all.
The story gets deeper and deeper.
Yeah, waiting on Pixel Levi. I think I have one. Thank you, everybody who has sent me gifts. I'm not even really paying attention to my phone, so if I miss comments, I'm sorry. Go and have a meeting with my lawyer in her office where she goes over the discovery on my case with me. Everyone wanted a slice.
Everyone wanted a slice.
They did. So we go over the discovery, which is the evidence, and she has me look at the transcript of the interview the day that we got caught. So unbeknownst to me, the day that we got caught and the day that I got terminated, they pulled everyone out of the pod and rug tested them. Well, they came back positive for subs, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There were strips inside of the pens that I brought in.
Oh.
So I brought in rugs unknowingly because I really didn't know.
So you got, that was added to the charges?
That was why I got the 1st degree promoting contraband.
Oh, so it wasn't just the pins per se.
No, it was...
And what was in it?
Suboxone.
What the helly?
Yeah.
So did you call him out on this shit?
Oh, I did. That's why he told me to get rid of the other box after I took all the other stuff out of it, because they were in those too.
Wow.
So, yeah. So they pull him out and they interview him. And at first, he's like, man, I ain't going to tell you nothing. I don't want her to get in trouble and all this stuff. Then this dude proceeds to tell the investigator at the facility that we had schmecks every single time I worked.
Oh, man.
Hence why the 3rd degree charge. Because this dude literally told them that we did it every time I worked. And my jaw dropped when I seen that.
So
And
he
she
just
also
flipped
had
on you.
straight up So I called him out on it. Yeah. So I called him out on it in the next phone call while I'm driving back to Levi's house. And he was like, I'm so sorry. They pressured me and they just broke me down and I didn't want to say anything. And I'm just like, really? Exactly. And the boys, that's another thing that he was trying to pass off. Is
Yeah,
that
once
he
it was
gonna
caught, then he was like, okay.
he was going to get a big payout over it and he was going to buy a brand new charger and all. This boy's insane. But for some reason, I can cut anybody else out of my life I want to. For some reason, I could not with this dude. Like, he had a hold on me. Like, I'd be having like a little bit of a panic attack or something and a phone call would come in from him. Hey, are you okay? I feel there's something wrong with you. And I'm just like, what the helly? No, Queen Bee, I do not. So, I'm telling him I'm done. I'm moving into a different town and with this guy and whatever. For some reason, I keep downloading the texting apps. He called me one day in front of Levi, and Levi wanted to jump through the phone because I straight up told Levi about my case that I was fighting. I was like, look, if you want me to watch your kids, this is what's going on. I want you to know now. And he was like, that's fine. You know, I've gotten arrested before. He had a felony expunged from Illinois. And I was like, all right, cool. Still was trying to talk to Hunter. Like, I would video chat him when Levi would go to work and everything. Baby daddy threw a fit that I was with Levi. Oh, but he makes more money than I do and all this stuff. While juggling the baby daddy trying to get back with me, while juggling Levi, while juggling Hunter. Exhausting. Never doing that again in my life. October rolls around and August, my lawyer tells me, hey, we got a plea deal for you. Don't take it. It's a crappy plea deal. Girl, I'm interested in you at this point. But she
Wait,
said,
so who got a plea deal?
Me.
Okay.
She said, don't take it though, because it's terrible and I do not advise it. I said, okay. She said they want to give you 13 years.
Oh my.
8
So were you scared that you might actually do jail time over this at any point?
The entire time.
Okay.
Like, you don't know how much I cried when I got my indictment and it was just a court summons and not a warrant. Because at that point, I still wasn't ready to tell the fiance everything that was going on. Like, my dad didn't even know. I didn't tell him that. I didn't want him to pass away worrying about me. My family knew, just to let him know, be like, hey, this is what's going on in case something happens before, because we thought he was going to live a lot longer. You know, Mumsy, it probably was the adrenaline.
I know, that's what I'm saying. The adrenaline, it's the thing, it's that thing of like, this is forbidden. It's like Romeo and Juliet. Like we glory, like, I can't think of the word, but like in our mind, we've made it out to be this amazing thing, but it's actually really fucking terrible. But in our minds, we're like, no, this is meant to be. I mean, look at it. This is a corrections officer and an inmate in love. We met each other at the right time. Like,
I went and seen this dude in person when he was at the other facility before he got moved back to mine to face the charges. And it was hard to leave because I didn't want to leave him there. And it was, I romanticized it.
Yeah, romanticized
it. Absolutely. And that only in-person video, the only in-person visit we did was we just sat and talked and laughed and really wanted to get through that glass just to hug each other. And I cried my eyes out when I left. And now I look back at all this and I'm like, you dumb ass.
it's much easier when you're looking back than when you're in it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I would always tell myself, but he loves me for me. Like, he doesn't care that I'm a little bigger. He doesn't care that I have kids. He wants to be involved in their lives. And he would write me letters all the time of, well, when the boys get older, I'm going to take them to do this and this. And he was making plans. Like, this was a forever long time thing. And I was like, okay, like, I'm finally going to be able to have that white picket fence life that I wanted, kind of, you know?
No.
And then the signs just kept coming and kept coming. But at first I thought it was a circus. I was like, yay, woo.
So you forgave him after he told them that y'all had relations.
Yes, but the relationship was pretty fractured at that point. It was, we were arguing all the time and everything. And I was just stunned. And he takes a plea deal at the end of August.
So he was charged with something too?
He was charged with promoting contraband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they dropped the PFO charge on him, which was the persistent felony offender, and gave him 3.5 years for the promoting contraband. And I was like, all right, cool. Go to my next court date in September, and my lawyer shows me an email. He was in there for 6.5 years originally. But I see an email that the prosecutor sends my lawyer about dropping the third-degree charge because I had evidence that I had my lawyer go and get of him flip-flopping his story. If he was in love with me that day, we didn't do anything wrong. Nothing happened. If he hated me that day, oh, you know what you did. And he just flip-flopped back and forth.
Oh, so would he like in your text messages, he would flip-flop
Yes.
with you? So like in text messages, would he accuse you of sleeping with him?
Yes.
That is super manipulative.
So I had my lawyer go through the 3 facilities that I talked to him in, had her pull all the records and point out every time he flip-flopped.
That's smart, yeah. So did you have a public defender or did you pay for a lawyer?
So when we first got indicted, where there were so many people on my case, the public defender's office couldn't defend me. So they had to bring in a conflict lawyer to defend me. And basically, I got a really good lawyer for free.
That's nice.
Like, she was amazing. And so she was talking to the prosecutor about getting me probation and probation only, to drop the 3rd degree, to go to a sexual misconduct charge. And that's just a misdemeanor. So I'd only have 1 felony and 2 misdemeanors. Yeah, she was one of those. She had to do pro bono cases. But she was really cool. Like, I liked her. And that's weird to say about a lawyer. But she shows me this email. Well, when he took his plea deal on August 28th.
Yeah, for real, you should have bought a lottery ticket after court.
Right? Even during his plea deal, he still maintained that they had sexual intercourse. So up until he took his time, he was still saying that we were doing it.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, I'm done. I just uninstalled all the apps I was talking to. I was focusing on me and Levi. We were getting a good relationship going on. Until October, when he says his ex-wife calls and is threatening to delete herself. And she's in an abusive relationship with this new dude. And that he needs to come get her and I have to be thrown out of the house. After 3 months of not seeing her kids or calling him once to talk about the kids, it was always calling him to scream about me being there.
And this was Levi's
This was Levi.
baby mama.
Yeah. So he comes home from work and is sitting there bawling his eyes out telling me that she's called and everything and he has to go pick her up. The boys need their mommy back and here's $50 for gas money.
Dang! dang. That's messed up.
After 2 months of making sure this house was spotless all day, cooking for him because she never did, taking care of the kids. One was a 3-year-old little bad little thing, and the other one's super sweet 7-year-old nonverbal autistic. I loved him to death. He was so sweet. And I miss those kids, even though the 3-year-old was terrible. But he leaves, and the whole time I'm living at Levi's, he's having me drive his 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe around. I'm like, all right, cool. And he paid for everything. All right, cool. Gave me a phone line on his phone plan and everything. Took me to Illinois to go see his family for a wedding and everything. So we were doing stuff. And it just turned into, well, here's $50 for gas. I have to go pick her up. Take time packing your things. Take whatever you want, because she left a bunch of clothes there. He said, take any of the clothes you want. Take any of the clothes for the boys you might need. And I'm so sorry, and I really did love you, but and I was just like, whatever. I looked at him, I said, just get out of my face. Not gonna lie, while I was packing his stuff, I trashed his house.
Got a little petty.
I got a little petty. Like, when I was taking toys for my kids, I literally, threw the toy boxes across the room. Sprawled out clothes all over the floors. The boys had noodles for lunch. And I just left them on the floor. Right before I left, my 2-year-old spilled a whole fountain drink on a white carpet, and I just left it. I trashed that house. I was like, she's not going to come home to my hard work when I cleaned up after her when I came here. And then I had my parents' ashes with me because they're both cremated. And I was in such a hurry to get out because I knew if she showed up there I was going to fight her. I accidentally left my parents' ashes there.
Oh, God. Yes, this is about the inmates still. It's a little, this is a side character. Yeah. This is a side quest, but it still involves. So, okay. So how did you get your parents back?
Well, she called me from his phone and was threatening me and stuff. And I was an hour away from them because after he threw me out, my fiance got in with his church pastor and they started paying for a hotel for us because at that point we were homeless. He was living in his van after I got evicted out of my apartment. We were both officially homeless.
Dang.
Yeah, it was rough. So I find this out. I text his dad on Facebook and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. Talk some sense into him. I can come get what I left tomorrow. And he sends me text messages between the two of them. She threw my parents' ashes out in her yard and my dad's ashes had mud. The outside, the holder has mud on them. From where she threw them out her door.
That's crazy.
So I called the cops in their town and gave them the address and everything, told them what was going on, told them what I left there, and that she possibly had a warrant for missing court while she was up in a different state. And so they go out to the house. He tells them that she's not even there. But I know she's hiding in the back room. Oh, she's not here. I don't know what she's talking about. Yeah, I'll give you her stuff that she left. And then tells the cop to leave and doesn't give him anything. And then he texted me, I gave this and this and this to the Vine Police Department. And I was like, texted the cop, I said, did you get my things I needed? And he said no. So I sent him the screenshot of him texting me that he told me that he gave it to him. Goes back out to the house and is banging on the door at 11:30 at night, and this dude's got to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work. I was loving it. Got my ashes and stuff back though. Was still talking to Hunter while trying to work things out with the fiance. I would sneak out to the truck to do video visits at night and everything and talk to him, but delete everything when he got home. And me and the baby mama started being really close friends. We talked a lot, you know. We've actually done a couple of lives together when I first started doing lives, when I first made my account.
Oh, wow.
So we love the baby mama.
So was she, and she was done with him? Like there was no, like
Oh,
why? Because remember,
absolutely.
so you said she called the thing to snitch.
She called because of how bad he treated her. She doesn't want him to get to their daughter because they have a kid together. Remember, he's never
So
met
she
her
didn't want
because-
him to get out.
Yeah, so
And she thought that
called-
this would get him in trouble.
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, technically it did.
So how did she know about him?
He was talking to her on the phone one night in between the times that she blocked him from calling her. And he told her he was going to be a daddy again. He didn't say he was going to be a stepdaddy. And so she thought that someone got pregnant.
Did he tell her that it was a corrections officer?
He said it was someone who was in the facility but wouldn't give her my name. So when she called, she didn't even have my name. She didn't know who I was. And at that point, I had already blocked her on social media anyway. And so they went and looked into the text messages and stuff, and that's how they found out what was going on.
Oh.
So because she called, that's what struck the investigation.
So did they know that it would, like, did she know that it was a, like, did she think it was another inmate, or did she know that it was a corrections officer?
She thought it was a commissary worker.